Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today I learned that the sound that a camel makes is technically called a grunt, which up until now I figured was the sound that us chunkers made during sex. But in any event, let's hope that we get to hear lots and lots of grunting today from from camels, I mean, as Hart, playing as the Gurjaras in red, gets ready to take on MbL, playing as the Berbers in green. Now, while the players herd their herdables explore their immediate surroundings with scouts and sheep of all kinds, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. And the Gurjaras are a civilization that focuses on man's other four-legged best friends, the horses, the camels, and the elephants. Gurjara camels and elephants are created 25% faster. All Gurjara mounted units deal extra bonus damage, and their camel line units and elephant archers can be upgraded to make them much harder to kill with a big +4 boost to their melee armor. Now, their first unique unit is the Shravamsha Rider. This is a super fast, versatile cavalry unit that can actually dodge enemy projectiles. 5 for the base model, and then 7 enemy projectiles once you upgrade it to its elite form. Now, if you're wondering why the hell the sheep are going into this mill, just you wait a few seconds to support their mounted units against pesky, annoying things like infantry and pikemen and halberdiers. Although halberdiers not exactly something we're going to see out of the Berbers. The Gurjaras, rather, can train a second unique unit, the Chakram Thrower. This is an infantry unit with a ranged melee attack who throws discs like Xena Warrior Princess. And just like her discs, the ones thrown by Chakrams can hit multiple units at once. And although their damage output is quite low, the pass-through to other units is 100%. And there is a small bonus against infantry and condottieri. Now, in order to help the Gurjaras build their military up and running as fast as frickin' possible, if you notice, they do start the game with 2 extra bushes underneath the town center. They can garrison their livestock inside their mill, which auto generates food. I was going to say, take a look at the top left of your screen. 63 will become 64, 64 becomes 65, and so forth and so on. If you learned counting in Sesame Street, you'll have an easy time understanding this concept. And lastly, the Gurjaras can upgrade their entire military-industrial complex so that all of their military units cost 25% less food. Now, peeking to the right side of the map as the last of the deer, or maybe not the last of the deer, the second last of the deer gets pulled here by Hart. We've got the Berbers, another civilization that pushes its players into the 4 welcoming hooves of cavalry. All Berber stable units are 15% cheaper in Castle Age, 20% cheaper in Imperial, which makes their Hussars super-duper trash units. Their camels can be upgraded to regenerate health. Their castles can be upgraded to work 25% faster, both of which benefit their first unique unit, the Camel Archer. Sorry, I got lost. As you guys know, sometimes I get lost in the boar polls here. The Camel Archer, as I was saying, a mounted archer unit with good HP, great speed, and an attack bonus against cavalry archers. So, not exactly a unit I expect to see today, although always, as I say, down to be pleasantly surprised. Now, starting in Castle Age, the Berbers can also train their second unique unit, the Genitor. Think of this as a mounted skirmisher that comes with more HP but less range and costs a little bit more food, because, hey, you got to feed the horse whatever the hell horses eat. Now, to help get your economy up and running as fast as possible, these guys, the Berber villagers, they move 5% faster in Dark Age and then 10% faster in Feudal, Castle, and Imperial. So those are the 2 civilizations we've got before us. Let's take a look at the minimap, as both of them it kind of feels like the heading up to Feudal Age, although MbL's food count, what does he have here? Okay, so I'm assuming he's going to force drop this boar meat and rush his butt up to Feudal Age once Loom completes. Our Gurjara, off the back of 2 fewer villagers, is already en route, and in a minute and a half, we'll get there ahead of the Berber. Primary gold for our Gurjara, a little bit off the beaten path, so kind of safe-ish. I say ish because there's a big open plain here to the north of his base. Holy moly, is this a big open space for the Berbers to operate in. A very fast mounted civilization, not exactly good news if you have to defend this against those quicker moving cavalry units. A nice P or F-shaped pile of stone, very exposed to the front as well. So I'm not really liking the position of the extra resource, rather the resources here for our Gurjara. Additional gold to the front and additional golden stone to the back. This I like. The golden stone to the back is pretty damn decent. Forest positioning, and nothing to write home about. This is basically an open base. Sorry to zoom out so much, but this is essentially an open base. The forward portion of the base open, and then the north portion completely open. Now, luckily, there is a relic and 2 additional forests in the back behind this cursed animal cemetery, this pet cemetery where animals come back to life. Sorry, I went down a rabbit hole of 80s movies and 90s movies, so prepare yourself for vague, confusing references that 1 in maybe 20 people will understand. Our Berber 20 seconds away from Feudal Age himself. Also gold in a bit of central position. Primary stone nice and secure in the back. Additional gold is well secure in the back, but where's his additional? Okay, there's another pile of gold right here. And then correct me if I'm wrong, does MbL have 4 patches of gold near his base? We've got Tetris piece, we've got main gold, we've got L shape, and then there's another one right here. Okay, I guess the Gurjara also has one. It's a little bit further away, but okay, interesting placement. I feel like the one for MbL for some reason is a little bit closer to home base, and he's got additional stone out front, outside the settlement walls that he's already begun erecting the wall off his forests. Also, not in a very pleasant positioning. North completely open. Forward position, although a little bit better than Heartt's because it's a shorter wall off here and here. But for now, we've got 2 areas of attack. Additional Gurjara units are moving forward. A scout, a camel scout, and another scout are making their way. What is number 4? A spearman. Okay. So moving forward, wanting to counter any kind of cavalry counter that his opponent might come up with. As obviously seen, his base has Heartt, MbL. Okay, he's discovered the house. He's seen the primary stone. He's seen the primary gold. And so he knows approximately where his opponent is. And for now, I guess for MbL, that's all he really cares about. Because in about 20 seconds, he's going to be scouting the rest with these additional scouts that he's moved forward. Pretty small little contingents of forces here. But MbL might want to leave another... Okay, I was going to say another spearman at home. 4 cavalry units joining in with a spearman, and the spearman is focusing on the other spearman. Oh, which means that these cavalry units were able to surround and poke him. First blood going here to Heartt, who gets that one spearman. Looks like MbL trying to poke and prod on the other side of the map. Not really getting any damage to these villagers, not getting any damage to the spearman. So attempting to poke and prod and poking and prodding are 2 different things. MbL not accomplishing the latter as he defends at home with 3 spearmen now. Okay, Heartt moving away, exploring the front. MbL taking big boy risks here, entering the town center of fire. Does take a bit of damage on one of these scouts, although is it... Ooh, I don't know if that's town center damage or if that's spearman damage. Oh, he's entering it yet again. He just wants Heartt's to... He just wants... Oh my god, I don't know why that sentence is so hard to say. MbL wants Heartt to garrison the villagers, even for a split second. Sure, they'll force drop their resources, but it means they pause for just a brief period of time. Oh, I'm sure he would have loved to gun that villager down, but no, 2 spearmen show up. And so if you can force this, 8 villagers idle for even a few seconds, it's not a bad deal at all, especially if you don't... Doesn't cost you anything. Another kill, another spearman. Let's see what's going to happen here. I'm a little worried for MbL. He's losing a lot of spearmen here at home. They're not exactly the most expensive of units. He's not really making any more attempts to wall himself in as 2 additional scout units show up to the party. But this is a kill zone for them. If they entered into here to go after these villagers, this spearman would have absolutely surrounded them. Okay, so now MbL creating a... I don't know what the hell to call this. A wall off? Oh, a wall off light? 2 spearmen. I'm surprised that Heartt is... really running away from these 2 spearmen. Villager population identical. Army population basically identical. 6 scouts and a camel scout versus 3 scouts. 3 spearmen versus 6 spearmen. So MbL with a much more defensive army here has decided, I guess, to go home. He's got 1 random spearman over here. Tries to move in. What got you? It's got to be the spearman. Yeah, which one? Nope, it's the chasing spearman. Managed to get those scouts and kill one of them. Uh-oh. Poke the horse's ass. Oh, MbL must be defending at home. We're going to be watching that to see if anything happened. Their kill count is identical. Oh, MbL's got to be so careful here. That is not a good trade at all. Dead unit for nothing. And Heartt yet again reclaims the kill lead. So this wall off light purposeless now that there's an actual wall up here. Although I don't think this is a wall. I don't think this is fully walled in. I think there's a little laneway here for enemy units to traverse. We'll see if MbL realizes that. I love, by the way, that MbL is sitting on extra 46 or 36 population space. I guess he learned his lesson in the last month or so, since we've been saying nonstop that he's been getting housed nonstop. And look at that. Forget the palisade walls. The palisade walls is for other people. I'm going to just build a whole bunch of houses as he gets another scout, evens up the kill count. And again, I don't think this is walled in. Right? There's nothing behind this house. But we'll see. Archer unit should be enough to shoot away these spearmen as the scouts return to the battle. And both players are now heading up to the next age about 5 or 6 seconds apart, maybe 7 seconds, because that's the difference in TC idle time. Although our Gurjara does have 1 extra villager. He didn't skip Loom, did he? No, he didn't skip. Of course he didn't skip Loom. Oh, my clicking skills, man, oh man. People always ask me, especially during the live streams, when am I going to start playing? When am I going to start live streaming my play? I mean, Red doesn't even need to do this. This is completely open. And my answer to that is when I learn how, when my 41-year-old decrepit hand figures out how to actually click on a unit, I'll feel comfortable enough to play this game again. That's a joke, of course. I'm going to play it as soon as I freaking can. This is the funnest game in the world. Although, okay, not a bad battle here for MbL. Heartt's army is kind of all over the place. He's got a unit here, a unit there. Units everywhere. Archer thinks better of it, although there's an entire area is 1 autumnal oak, 1 bamboo stick away from being completely open. Crossbow, bodkin, bosa. Okay. So 1 player going military upgrades, 1 player going economic upgrades. He's still down a villager, or he's still down army count. So MbL keeping a pace with his opponent here, who for now is slowing down the pace of the game with a 2nd town center. MbL, you're placing 1 extra town center. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Hold my Berber beer. But now there's camels out for our Gurjara. So this is, I really hope we do the whole intro. It was meant to hopefully be predictive and to kind of wishful thinking my way into seeing a camel war between one civilization whose camels regenerate HP potentially if he gets Maghrebi camels, MbL, and another civilization whose camels not only deal extra bonus damage, but they're also trained faster. I should also mention our Berber, not only do they regenerate HP, they're also cheaper. 10% in Castle, 20% in Imperial. So it really is an interesting battle of cheap regenerate versus more powerful and quicker trained. Because, for example, the Camel Rider bonus here against Cavalry, which I always like to show, 9 and becomes a 12. And Camel 5 becomes a 7, I guess. It used to be a fixed 40%, I want to say, the Gurjara bonus. Now it's extra every age. So their mounted units, 20% in extra bonus damage in Feudal, 30% in Castle, which is where we are now, and 40% in Imperial. Why do I feel like it was fixed at 40 before? Anyway, it doesn't really matter as our Gurjara is making an issue of this forward position here. Camels are not going to take down this stable anytime soon, but it doesn't really matter because MbL can't really defend this by repairing it because there's a whole bunch of crossbows. If only they could reach these monks. Oh, they reach 1 monk. Interesting. How did that happen? Okay, they do manage to convert 1. Did they both spend their faith on that? No, 1 monk still has full faith. The one who was injured by the crossbows. So he can, in theory, try to convert another camel who is synchronizing, attacking the stable. I'm going to stop saying synchronized attack because every time I do that, the units seem to stop the synchronized attack. MbL running away with this OG scout still alive. Or maybe it's not an OG scout, but it's definitely an OG Feudal Age scout. And Heartt is now housed at 80. MbL has another 55 population space. Hell, oh my god. 60, 65, 70 extra population spaces en route. And man, oh man. MbL learning from the past This is what I love about pro players. And what I really hope they all do is, you know, professional athletes, when they reach the top level of being like the top 10 in their field, which I would say MbL and Heartt, I think Heartt right now is either #1 or #2 highest elo in the business. They watch their tapes. They watch themselves play. They know where their mistakes are made. I mean, I don't know if they have a team, if Aftermath here, both MbL and Heartt are on the Aftermath clan. I don't know how clans work exactly. Never really got into the nitty-gritty of that. I don't know if they have people dedicated to supporting the players in the sense of watching their old tapes and saying, hey, MbL, we've noticed in the last, I don't know, 49 games of yours, you've been housed consistently and constantly. Maybe you want to think of walling off your base with houses instead of palisades. It does cost a little bit more wood, but you would do well to do it. I don't know if the clans have people that do that, but either somebody did or MbL himself watched the tapes, and he is in no threat of being housed. Good get there for Heartt, who in exchange for just one crossbow and a little bit of HP manages to gun down a mangonel, but a second replacement mangonel is en route. This is very annoying for MbL, but luckily for him, Tetris piece in the back. Doesn't really need to mine this gold at the moment. I'm surprised he's even popping these villagers out. I guess he thinks his mangonel is going to keep him safe. A third town center going next to the stone here for our Gurjara. A very aggressive forward siege workshop as Heartt brings home the first of 5 relics. The second just got picked up and is going to get Ubered over to that monastery. But I'm surprised 1 mangonel is enough. And all of a sudden, look at this. Peace has fallen upon Arabia. And all is well with the world as the players build up their arsenals. We've got 95 villagers for MbL to the 70s ahead, 25 villagers, but he's down literally 3 times the army count. He has 11 to 33, and it's not weak 33. It's not a bunch of spearmen, although there are 2 spearmen. It's actually MbL whose army composition here is not the greatest. Okay, we'll discover this little expeditionary force who ignores him for a second, and here we go. Is he going to discover that there's an alley here? Am I the idiot? Am I wrong? I think this is open. Oh no, never mind. There is a house. There is a oh, and I'm the idiot. I apologize. I thought this was open. And so 30 minutes into the game, always happy to correct myself. And this is what I'm talking about. You got to watch the tape. You got to look back. You got to look at things from a different angle. Because you never know. Did you make a mistake? Did someone else make a mistake? Ooh, we've got the first castle of the game going up in a very nice hill. King of the hill location here. A mangonel. 3 mangonels for our Berber. I mean, our Berber, the cavalry civilization, so far is performing what I can really only imagine to be called a Berber smush. 6 monks, 3 mangonels. No ballistics, no murder holes means that these camels get to the castle unharmed, attack the castle without any kind of resistance, and then escape unharmed as well. Uh-oh. 5 monks, 3 mangoes move forward. First attack round does jack nothing. Let's go get your asses to the high ground. This is a perfect place for him to be, but Heartt is marshaling his forces. The camels move forward. MbL's going to need a good attack round. He does not get it. Goes after the mangonel, gets it, but he's going to lose all of these. Oh no, he's going to lose all of his mangonels, and now the crossbows are free to show up. But look at that. Look at that. He takes 5 Berber, 5 Gurjara camels. Do their attack bonuses stay, by the way? No. Yeah, actually, yes, they do. 7, yeah, they do. But 3 mangonels. That was a very bad attack round there out of Heartt, but doesn't really need it if this camel continues to chase. I mean, that was an expensive Pyrrhic victory there for our Berber, who loses 5 monks and 3 mangonels in exchange for what? 5 converted camels and a mangonel of reds that died, and maybe 1 or 2 other camels? And now we're going camel archers? Okay, honestly, not a unit I expected to see here. Ranged is always a risky venture against the Gurjaras because that frickin' Shravamsha rider. I mean, both players building. Wait a second. What happened to the siege workshop that was here? Oh my goodness, what the hell happened to that siege workshop? And now they're anchor castle here to the back. He wants to defend his primary gold against any kind of run-bys here. Now, camels and crossbows are going to be very ineffective at running by, just because the camels zero base armor of any kind, and crossbows are just about as squishy as you can get. And there's Kshatriyas, which is going to make all the Gurjara units cost 25% less food. But MbL, another castle for MbL. Is he just going to go meme build, Mr. Yo style meme build of camel archers? Look at the upgrades. Ballistics, thumb ring, both players going up to Imperial. MbL's going to hit it first off the back of 37 more villagers. Mamma mia. Hard is going to have to hit, and he's going to have to hit hard. Otherwise, this Gurjara army is just going to get overwhelmed by the Berber, who is now an Imperial. I'm assuming a Treb. Yeah, of course a Treb is coming out. He's seen the castle, so he knows what he's up against. And all of a sudden, this army out of Heart, which was so menacing a second ago, pivoting everywhere, left, right, attacking, killing monks, killing mangonels, is kind of weak sauce. Oh my god, chemistry, husbandry, bracer. he's definitely going camel archers and heavy camels for the others. Heavy camel's a fantastic unit against the camel archer, because again, the heavy camel riders now with 40% more bonus damage are gonna pack a punch if they can close on the Berber camel archer. FYI. And by the way, look at this. Now that we're an Imperial, that plus 12 becomes plus 13. The camel doesn't change just because the number is so small. I guess when you do rounding up and decimal points and shit like that, doesn't really affect. Will he catch the monk? Yeah, he does. Catches the monk, catches Tony the tiger. Will he even kill the ibex? No, MbL don't got time for that. He's just getting the hell out of here. So these are technically camel units, which means that these heavy camels, or heavy camels in 25 seconds, are going to do damage, extra bonus damage to them. And I believe they're faster as well. So Heart, if he can catch up, we'll be able to kill this camel. Yeah, you got to back away now. Oh, discovers there's a castle here. Conscription being researched as well. So our Berber is literally about to go bonkers with his production. I mean, he's sitting on 7 camel archers right now. Or am I wrong? Maybe he's going hussars against heavy camels? What's the attack bonus against camels now? 13! Now, that camel archer itself, not a very tanky unit. Used more for its mobility, I would assume, than it's not exactly a paladin or, you know, a heavy cavalry unit. But first castle does fall here for our Gurjara, who is housed again at 180. And I don't think MbL's been housed a single time this game. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? How many villagers is this? MbL just pulled 46 villagers. I'm not Spirit of the Law, but even I can tell you that might not be the most efficient use of 46 villagers. But the castle goes up in the blink of an eye. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the Sicilians pulling 46 villagers? That castle they build would go up before I could finish saying, wow, look at that. But the camels engaged. They've seen now the third castle. My god, look at this clump. How do you engage into this except for the trebuchets? And what is MbL doing? He's going chemistry. He's going elite camel archer. So he is going full on camel archer build. Mobility, attack speed, something that these guys have. Heart on the other side has the melee power, the HP. 140, not Saracen camels, but they'll get the job done. As long as they can close. And this is yet another classic Age of Empires trope. On the one hand, the archer unit with mobility. On the other, the melee that needs to close in. The only difference here is that the melee unit is faster than the archer unit. So usually when we see cav archers taking on paladins, etc., unless they're cumin paladins, the paladins struggle to reach them. But here, nuh-uh, not a problem. What is a problem is the Gurjara's lack of siege engineers, which means that these trebs are stuck at 16 range. They need to move a little bit forward, though. I think he's on the downslope of the hill, which means he's on the low ground compared to this castle. MbL is just unrelenting. He's selling everything he possibly can to buy more stone to defend this castle. He is incredibly gung-ho about defending this castle because he is supply blocked, supply capped at 200. Oh, and where the hell are you guys going? They're going to get a bit of that extra gold. Bombard cannons out for our Berber, being repaired by 4 villagers here, right? 4? Yeah, 4. And this is a real game of cat and mouse right now. The camels are going to try to snipe as many villagers as they can. The villagers literally just need to move into these green lines of safety. And here we go. He's got to get the bombard, and he gets the bombard with the trebuchet. And now all of a sudden, our Gurjara, I mean, Heart can't be too disappointed about this, right? He's just parked his ass out here. He's repairing the trebs with wood against the castle that's being repaired with stone. At the same time, he's laming the resource collection of his opponent. So if he can survive here, the problem for him, he's got 38 gold. Oh, and no, he retreats. And he retreats just as 2 bombard cannons mow down these 2 trebuchets. Okay, he himself is now going padded archer armor, thumb ring. He's going elite skirmishers to try to counter these camel archers. And all of a sudden, a stalemate that I thought was for sure going to continue for a good amount of time has just ended with an overwhelming Berber push. The bombard cannon is just a brilliant addition here, destroying those trebuchets, giving him additional mobility. I mean, that's just the name of the game here for the Berbers, is mobility, mobility, mobility. He manages to finally destroy the last remnants of that annoying Gurjara army. It looks like our Gurjara not as successful as he'd probably like to be, only killing 14 villagers this whole game compared to the 9 that our Berber has killed. But all of a sudden, our Berber base is safe. His army count is double, literally double that of his opponent. But for the first time this game, Gurjara outnumbers villagers. That's not how you say that sentence. Sorry, sometimes I get so excited. Our Gurjara has more villagers is what I wanted to say. Sometimes I get so excited the words just jumble out of my mouth. And here we go, light cavalry moving forward for the Gurjara. I mean, he does have the ability to train hussars if he wants to. What he doesn't have is the actual money to get that upgrade. We'll see how many villagers he can got there. But now skirmishers are out. What do we think? Should our Gurjara have gone? I mean, you can't go Shravamsha riders against the Berbers at the start, because then the Berbers will just train their camels. And by the way, in terms of upgrades, I think Berber camels have all of the stable and blacksmith upgrades, whereas the Gurjaras are missing the last attack upgrade for their melee units. So I'm sure some will wonder, where the hell are the Shravamshas when your opponent is going heavy on the archer units? And oh, mama, someone's got the money for hussars. But like we saw with Mr. Yo the other day, heavy camels versus hussars, and this is again, this is a very squishy army here for our Gurjara. If the bombards can even get one ball off here, it's bad news bears. And the camels pushing it. I mean, look at how cocky MbL is being, planting farms in the middle of a war zone. I mean, this is crazy out of him. He's lost a good amount of villagers already. This is absolutely insane out of our Berber. Why would you place your farms here? You literally have so much more room behind your base. I'm looking at the minimap. There's a whole bunch of open plains where you could have placed your farms. Why did you place them there? You really thought you had the Gurjaras in the well, what's the expression I'm looking for? On the back foot. But our Gurjara still has 32 heavy camels. They're upgraded to the 9s. He's got 18 skirmishers en route, but how the hell are the skirmishers going to compete against these bombard cannons? They're going to have to constantly be moving, constantly dodging and dipping and diving and ducking. I love that the bombard cannons are actually going after the camels. Maybe not the best move, since the camels have so much more mobility. And now these camel archers, how many freaking 49 camel archers? This has to be enough to one-shot these camels. This has to be more than enough to one-shot the camels. And now it looks like green is raiding the back of red's base. MbL, for the first time in what, 40 minutes, is on the other side of the map, getting damage done to his opponent's base. He's got 50 more army count. The writing is on the wall. It's only a matter of time till our Gurjara realizes it. And okay, right there you go. I didn't even have to finish the sentence before Heart realized it. And holy shit, what am I even looking at here? 48 with 97 kills, literally 2 kills each. And at the same time, oh yeah, look at this. Look at this dead zone. This is the ghost town that our Berber has created. Let's look at the Berber units here. 29 kills, 24 of them villagers. Holy moly, what are you, an outpost? Yeah, you're an outpost, but that was absolutely epic. And like I said, I originally, I'm wondering, why didn't our Gurjara throw in a few Shravamsha riders, but against 49 camel archers, even the elite only dodges 7 arrows. And then the second those Shravamshas come out, you best believe the Berber is going to train a camel or 2 of his own. And with that plus 18 attack bonus, just absolutely destroy the Shravamsha rider. But wow, what a fun game. MbL, watch out, everybody. MbL is on a bit of a tear here. He wasn't housed a single time during this game, so kudos to him. I mean, you gotta love when players just, it's so noticeable that they're improving things that need improvement. 144 camel archers. I'm surprised that it's a majority hussars and not camel archers, camel riders. I'm surprised that this is not camel archers. PKPM for Heart right at the end of the game. PKPM for MbL about 10 minutes or so ago. So right when he was pushing, it's got to be the time he started seeding these farms. Seeding these farms in the middle of a war zone. I mean, who does that except a player who thinks they're literally on the cusp of winning this game and who is now starting to raid like a champ the back of Heart's base, and Heart just gets gutted, even though he did a good amount of damage to MbL right up until about 3 or 4 minutes ago. He had more villager kills. Look at the total kill count. Our Berber has killed almost 300 Gurjara units. Our Gurjara killed only about 200. Villager kills almost identical, but again, this 50 kills that MbL got, a lot of it was in the last few minutes. I can't see the economies being too different. They were pretty neck and neck for a lot of the game, yeah. Even with the extra relic gold. So our Berber economy without the relic gold, a little bit bigger. Wait a second. How did our... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Gurjara. My bad. I do apologize. I was wondering why I didn't see MbL get a relic. My brain derped out there for a second. Our Gurjara, more food, more gold, more stone, but more wood for our Berber. 7 conversions out of 244 is what? Less than 3%, so not really anything to write home about. And our Berber destroyed 25 buildings to the 9 that his opponent destroyed. And what an absolute crazy game. I mean, MbL... what do you say? I mean, this treb probably could have been unpacked and moved forward about 10 minutes ago. Pulling 46 villagers to build a castle. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's the most inefficient. It's gotta be. Again, I'm not Spirit of the Law. It's gotta be one of the most inefficient things you could possibly do. But man, oh man, did it stop those camels from engaging into those camel archers, even though who knows if those camels would have continued to press on. 2 castles should be more than enough to push back a unit that has 0 base armor of any kind. And even though it has 140 HP, 140 HP against 2 castles is not going to last them very long. But look at this overwhelming tide of green descending on the slope of the hill, ready to absolutely mangle and destroy any Gurjara army in its path. And holy moly, that was just a fun game. That was just a brutal slugfest of a fun game. In 50 minutes, we've got about 500 kills. I love the anchor castle here, by the way, even though at the end of the day, I always say this, you're never going to not have an open base unless you make a very, very active attempt to wall yourself in. You're never going to have an open base because you're going to lose track of villagers. They're going to cut through the bamboo. They're going to cut through the dead autumnal oaks. They're going to cut through whatever the hell. Yeah, it's autumnal oak. Bamboo here to the left. No shrub B, thank God. But there you go. There you have it. The Berber army with the camel archer just gets the quantity into literally a death ball. 2 kills for each one of these guys means that our Gurjara has no more ability to put up a fight. The Berbers are on the front door, on the front step, knocking on the front door is I think the expression. But at the same time, MbL raiding to the back. Like we saw 24 dead villagers in the last few minutes, 29 total kills. And our Gurjara still has a bit of gold in the bank. But against this, you need a lot of gold. You need heavy siege. You need about 30 times as many skirmishers as he's got right now. He's got 13. I'd say make that into 70 or 80. and you'll stand a chance against this army with the bombards continually shelling at you and killing 3 or 4 or 5 skirmishers at a time. That's your only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you've only got 13, and so you have no hope left. And I think Hart realized that with his army pressing into the very center of his base, ready to take out the infrastructure here and here. Our Gurjara realizes that he's got no choice. He's got to tap out, live to fight another day, despite having a decent amount of resources, and thus the victory goes to MbL, who once again, if by any chance of nature, universe, whatever, kismet, he happens to watch this game, congratulations on a game where you were not housed, I think, even once, unless I missed it. Maybe some of you more eagle-eyed viewers might comment here and there about when he was housed. But I can definitely assure you he was not housed during any incredibly important moments, any pivotal moments. So congratulations to MbL on a hard-fought victory, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.